Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Disruptiveness, the big visions that Pekka opened the morning with and so on, boldness that is required from companies and players that are entering the scene. I sort of want to connect to reality in a way. I like very much what Pekka Lundmark used to say when he was still CEO of Connect Cranes and one of the 4 speakers and runners in IoT. And when he was asked, are you making Connect Cranes into a software company? He said, well, you know, as long as there is gravity, you will need cranes. And I think there is some importance in that statement. Let me tell you the story of how Fastems is acting and addressing the issue of digitalization. We are a company that is automating and robotizing metalworking industries, notably around machine tools, but not only and always just that. And the agenda looks like that. The 8760, which is also kind of a dilemma, which I will mention here. For the ones that don't know what that is, that's our value proposition to our customers. It's the number of hours in the year, so we are enabling our customers to use their expensive investments, the full 8,760 hours of the year. This is the kind of things that we provide to our customers. Very sophisticated mechanical engineering equipment, but at the core, the value that is created with this equipment is enabled by the software. 60% of our engineers and the engineering hours that we use to make these solutions are software engineers and engineering hours. We have been in this business since 1982. There are about 4,000 systems worldwide provided by us, flexible manufacturing systems and robotizing solutions. The company goes back into 1901, family-owned in the 4th generation. It was founded in Tampere in 1901, as I said. We have 2 factories in Tampere and in Germany, Issum close to Düsseldorf, and the footprint basically indicates those are the industrialized areas of the world. So, a technology company, mechanical engineering company with a lot of software inside, but still the foundation of what we are doing for the future is in those 3 words: strategy, culture, and leadership. I'll open up a little bit on that. Firstly, what do we do for our customers? Those 6 bullet points, I don't dive deep into those, but the rationale of automation is always about competitiveness. And you might look at those incremental steps of improving productivity, cost efficiency, and so on, and quality. But with the kind of solution that we provide, very often our customers take disruptive major leaps. I'll showcase one example before that later on. We are convinced that there is no part of industrial value chains, manufacturing value chains, that will not be robotized going forward. First, when we emerged on this journey some 3 years ago, we had a very clear vision that we need a company culture that embraces change and is bold and creates a framework for our people to do the exciting things for the future. And we, on purpose, decided we are not going to document company values, because if you sort of look at what companies display as their values on their internet pages or in their brochures and so on, those tend to be pretty much copy-paste. And what we did was involving the whole personnel in developing a culture concept which is formed around manners. So it's very tangible, it's very close to the real life, to the day-to-day work, and it's documented in a book that's called The Way We Rock. It became a bestseller. We already have the 2nd edition out. The culture alone doesn't do the job. You also need the leadership. So we went on in developing our view on leadership, our leadership concept, which looks like this. It's based on 3 principles, very simple principles, and those principles contain each a set of 3 manners. Again, manners which are supposed to sort of link what we do in terms of culture and leadership to the real life in the company and around the company with our partners, with our customers, with our suppliers. And I just mentioned very rapidly those principles because I think they are very relevant in when you are aiming for disruptive developments of your organization. For me, leadership is above all about enabling others to succeed. You create the conditions, you make choices that enable others to succeed, and as a consequence of that, you create your own success. As a manager and leader, you need to take the time to understand the big picture. If you don't understand the big picture, you cannot create and maintain the right kind of sense of urgency. So, some technology stuff. I'll display one case. This is MTU air engines. They are still machining their blisks, those turbine blades, in the jet engine. By the way, those 3D printed ones, they also need to be machined. They are not printed as they coming out of that. In the case of MTU air engines, they had for close to 30 years believed that it is not possible to produce in Germany, close to Munich, which is the most expensive area in terms of labor cost in Europe. With the help of our automating solution, they were able to challenge this and created roughly 100 plus jobs doing very sophisticated work here. Our system is the backbone of that production, and the nerve system is the software that we provided. The software that we sort of run these systems with, it combines a number of issues. We connect to the upper level systems in the company, the ERPs, the MES, the CAD/CAMs. We connect to the physical world, to the resources, tools, machine tools, and other resources on the shop floor, and we produce documentation to the system. Our software is dynamically simulating the future, in this case 96 hours into the future, for any change in the resources, in the order situation, name it, within half a second, the next 96 hours have been re-simulated, always with the target for 100% on time, on quality, on cost production out of the system. And in the case of aerospace, which is our biggest customer sector, of course, traceability is one of those core issues that you have to look at. Then, let's dive a little bit deeper into the issue of data. You can easily imagine that with that kind of a software, we have access to huge amount of data that is collected or could be collected in the production plant. And we have tried to sort of project a very well-known picture that many of you have seen. It came originally from John Deere. There was an agricultural tractor, which was that product there at the very beginning. We put in an industrial robot. So first you have a product, then you add intelligence to the product, then you connect it to the outside world, then you make this system part of a platform, a product system, and then the ultimate level here would be the system of systems. And our thinking is that the type of data, the customer value, and the drivers are evolving quite radically as you move up this ladder. The case that I just showed here, MTU, it is situated somewhere just between the smart connected product and the product system. Capitalizing on data, we are very humble here. We have some idea of where this journey should take us, but we are also very realistic on what is the progress so far. But we have created the enablers for us to continue on this journey. So how do you do this? Firstly, you have to leave the island. Island in this case is technology companies tend to have defined their own island where they feel comfortable, where they know what they are doing, and where they think they know the customer needs. But you neglect the world outside, which is the reality of your customer. So we want to sort of explore the world outside this island. How to do this? and do it without making a mess. We chose a bimodal development or organization model suggested by Gartner. So we have the marathon on the one side, where we do make the money, generate the cash flow, so that we can afford to do all the exciting new things. Then you have the sprinter mode, where you have a completely different type of working, and you should not mix these two. You need to synchronize them, but don't mix them. For the sprinter mode, we decided we will use doping. So we established a doping kitchen. The doping kitchen, firstly, we ensure the ambition level. We do not have a budget, we have a burn rate. If we are not burning what we have decided to burn, then we are doing too little, and we cannot afford to burn more. So that's the first thing. We heard something about failing fast. If we don't fail, we have not tried hard enough. We have a sprinter team with the dedicated alchemists. The principles here are that we do not make any proof of concept with at least one customer involved. So this is very, very customer-related development that we're doing here, and we have a couple of nice products already involved out of this. So for us, IoT is not just about technology and business models. It is about culture, leadership, and performance management. And then just a few last words about the 8760 dilemma. Today we have all our delivered systems are connected to remote diagnostics. This we have done already since 30 years. The technology has evolved, but the theme was the same. We are able to solve 85% of the incidents reported by our customers remotely without a service technician going to the customer. Huge value for the customer. Only one major problem, the system was down. For 10 minutes, for 3 hours, doesn't matter, the system was down. The future here, with the help of data, analytics, artificial intelligence, is that we will be able to prevent 85% of the incidents before they ever happened. And you can imagine that this is a hugely more valuable proposition to the customer, but not quite easy to monetize on. So with that, I leave you with my conclusions. Thank you very much.